Cellular, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
During times like these, it's important to stay connected.
The new normal isn't normal at all.
But just because we're apart
doesn't mean we're alone.
We can reach out to old friends.
Remind our family that we love them.
Stay on top of business.
Even if it isn't business as usual.
Because we are resilient.
No matter how much distance is between us, we will never let you lose your connection.
US Cellular has a network you can count on, which means you can do anything, even make a commercial. US Cellular.
Help is what we've always given. So thank you to our helpers at BMO and beyond. Thank you to the healers, the fighters, the all-nighters, the cleaners, the movers, the 18-wheelers. Thank you to the farmers, the grocers, the above and beyonders. Thank you to all the frontliners for keeping our lives moving when the world needs to stop.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Right now, we're learning more about the financial impact the pandemic is taking on rural hospitals.
Plus, new guidelines from the CDC now say you should be socially distancing from your pets. We'll tell you why.
And strong winds still in the forecast today, but at least we have some sunshine. All the details coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, April 30th, almost to the weekend. I'm Josh Sprider.
Well, Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Leah Linscheid. Chris Stanford is off this morning as he makes the move with his family up from Oklahoma City. He'll be joining us back on Monday. But we have lots to get to this morning. Let's start with the latest on the pandemic. Officials at UW Health are reaching out to the community, reminding folks that its clinics and hospitals are still safe places to get care during the pandemic. They say as they move forward with addressing more patients' healthcare needs in the coming days, they want them to be aware of the changes they'll see when they return. That includes all patients' employees getting their temperatures taken prior to their shift or visit. Patients, staff, and any visitors also have to wear masks. And a reminder, all COVID-19 patients are isolated away from the general population.
Right now, SSM Health is protecting patients and staff with curbside COVID-19 screenings as they enter clinics. You'll follow cones to workers out front to conduct a screening process to determine which entryway should be used. Once screened, all patients and staff have their temperatures taken. If limits contacts between people or possible coronavirus patients and other patients, you are still recommended to wear facial coverings and call ahead before heading into the clinic.
New this morning, some hospitals across the state are slowly opening to elective procedures, but numbers show their profit margins aren't necessarily ready for a crisis like this one. The full impact of the pandemic on rural hospitals serving in less populated parts of our state is largely unknown. Tim Size has worked on behalf of rural hospitals in Wisconsin for 40 years at the Rural Wisconsin Health Cooperative. He says all hospitals in our state, but especially rural ones, are in trouble.
We have a fair number of rural hospitals in our state who have been running negative operating margins statewide. I'd be very happy if we get through this period without any closures. It's hard to imagine there won't be some.
For about 6 weeks, hospitals across the state have lost 40 to 60% of the revenue that's normally brought in by elective procedures. Two pieces of federal legislation designated a total of $170 billion in hospital funding relief. $10 billion is targeted for rural hospitals. So far, the funding that's been sent to Wisconsin hospitals has been roughly equivalent to 2 weeks' worth of lost revenue.
Another problem plaguing Wisconsin hospitals is a lack of ICU beds. There are 34 counties across the state that have 0 right now. Out of those is Adams County, which has the highest percentage of at-risk people at about 37% of its population. Gunderson Mountain View Hospital says in a normal month, they send about 30 patients to other hospitals for ICU care. They say they do now have an agreement in place to send patients with coronavirus to another hospital's ICU if need be. But for now, they only have had one case and it did not require that. The Wisconsin National Guard will be setting up additional COVID-19 testing sites across the state. 11 teams made up of more than 300 soldiers and airmen have been establishing mobile testing sites at locations ranging from correctional facilities and health clinics to private businesses and community-based testing sites. Just this week, a team tested more than 1,000 staff and inmates at the Dane County Jail.
Sauk County now has a drive-through testing site set up at the Sauk County landfill on Evergreen Lane. Officials say in order to get tested, you need to have proof that you're a Sauk County resident and you're showing symptoms. You'll get your results about 48 hours later. Residents can make an appointment for that test by calling the number at the bottom of your screen that's going to pop up here. It's the Sauk COVID hotline at 608-355-3200. We also have that number up on channel3000.com.
As testing capabilities continue to expand this morning, the State Department of Health Services says there are more than 230 new cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin over the last day. The department says it is also investigating a total of 187 outbreaks in facilities across the state. More than half of those are in long-term care facilities and about a third are in workplaces. DHS says so far about 49% of people who tested positive have recovered.
The CDC is out with some social distancing guidelines for humans and their pets. They're recommending folks follow the same social distancing guidelines with their pets as they do with other humans. They advise you to keep cats indoors, don't let pets interact with other people or animals outside of your home, and avoid dog parks and public places. If someone in your household tests positive for COVID-19, there are precautions you can take to protect your pet.
Limiting contact with them, refraining from kissing them or allowing them to lick you or lick your face, as well as avoiding sharing food. And then, of course, hand hygiene is the most important thing.
So far, a handful of cats and dogs have tested positive. There's currently no evidence that COVID-19 can be transmitted, though, from a pet to a human.
5 minutes past the hour, we join Hattie right now with the 3 things to know, and we're kind of on the up and up right now. We've kind of gotten through a lot of rain this week.
We certainly are, yeah. Some inclement weather earlier this week, but things are looking up. We're still dealing with the winds from that particular system that moved through yesterday. Those winds will diminish later on tonight, but dare I say it's going to be warm this weekend. Temperatures will be in the 70s. That's above normal for this time of the year. Not going to last, though. Temps do turn a little cooler as we head into next week. So let's take a look at that 48-hour precipitation. Rain has been the story, especially for southeastern Wisconsin, where 3 to 4 inches of rain has been recorded on this radar map. That's estimated by the radar that has fallen. Much lighter amounts, though, as you head westward. We are looking at less than ½ an inch at the airport officially in Madison. Some parts of southwestern Wisconsin really not picking up any rain at all. Unfortunately, the rain continues for the areas that don't need it. Still a narrow band affecting the lakeshore counties. We do have some flood watches in effect for southeastern Wisconsin, but as you zoom the map out, you'll see that things are very quiet across the northern plains. So we are going to quiet down for at least a couple of days with dry weather in the forecast. Here's a look at your weather track, which is satellite and radar combined. Storm system producing that rain is now in Michigan. Skies have already cleared here across most of southern Wisconsin, and it's hard to find a cloud through the northern plains. So we'll look for sunshine all day today. Not a lot of cold air behind this particular system. International Falls is kind of chilly, 24, but Minneapolis 45. We're generally looking at 40s to our west and north, so temperatures aren't going to cool down that much behind this particular system. In fact, with the sunshine, we'll actually be a little warmer today. Here's a closer look at southern Wisconsin. 42 in the Dells, 45 in Watertown, Mineral Point, and Platteville. You're checking in with 46 as we are here in Madison. Our future track forecast model, again, showing you that clearing line with the clouds already east of Dane County. The rain will gradually come to an end later on this morning for southeastern Wisconsin. For the rest of us, we have mostly sunny skies. There will be quite a difference in temperatures later on today. Here's 5 p.m. where temperatures may be in the mid-60s along the Mississippi River Valley, only in the mid-50s in Milwaukee. Madison, though, should be in the 60s as well with 63 degrees. Winds will diminish tonight. That'll set us up for a little bit of a cooler night as lows drop to 39, but a nice warm up through the weekend. We have 67 tomorrow, 75 on Saturday, and 71 on Sunday.
75?
Wow,
Yeah.
That's awesome. And at least
Tunnel
with those
vision.
shower chances, they're kind of coming at good times too.
Yeah, at night mostly.
All right, thank you, Hattie.
5:07 now. The coronavirus is changing how and where students go to college, and the University of Wisconsin is no exception.
Christina Laurie joins us live to explain how it's impacting the class of 2024 so far. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. Tomorrow is typically the deadline for incoming freshmen to accept a spot at the University of Wisconsin. But school administrators say they've always been willing to give students with extenuating circumstances an extension. This year, all students will automatically receive one. Students now have until June 1st to accept their offers for the fall semester, and that's just one of the changes happening at the university, according to Greg Bump, who works for the chancellor's office. He tells me many students have already made up their minds and are making deposits for the fall semester, but he says it'll still be a few more weeks until we know what the class of 2024 will really look like. The UW system is also working to help ease the potential burden on prospective students by offering an 11-day free application period for anyone applying to one of its two-year campuses for fall of 2020 or spring 2021 semesters. The free application period will run June 5th through the 15th, 2020. I asked Bump if we can expect the number of in-state students to increase at the UW as more people choose to stay close to home. He says that hasn't happened yet, but Wisconsin already has a commitment to admit and enroll about 5,200 new in-state undergrads every year. That's about more than 50% of each incoming class. As far as international students go, I'll explain how the virus could affect them ahead at 5:30.
All right, Christina, thank you.